So Pete, is this the signal box for any junction?
Yeah, any junction. It's on the tip filter Thunderbolt line. It's down the road from Buggleskelly.
Well, not the tip field Thunderbolt, no.
No, it's on. Well, they're sort of joined. They're joined in infamy. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Oh Mr. Porter.
It is a cracking movie.
I think I might know the president of it.
I've been to some of the locations when I was in Hampshire.
I've been to them all, mate.
There's not much left now, I don't think.
Well, it's just a village.
Yeah.
We're erected a bench in the village with Will Hayes' granddaughter, I think it was, and Will Hayes, one of Graham Moffat's, I think it was one of his children.
I thought I gave you some.
I think there is, well,
Maybe that.
yeah,
No. You can say I look for list, that's all. Nope.
Yeah. Have a look. Yeah, it's really weird because it's definitely. Just go into Google it and then hit images.
well, it's absolutely hosing it down, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Excuse me, please, chaps. Okay.
Have you got a front view? No. No.
You can see when I said they painted some of the brick.
Yeah.
They bricked in the thing on the neck.
Yeah, well, obviously we're not doing that box, so I'm not doing
No,
it.
no, I'm just.
So I've painted mine in.
Yeah, but there's no top on it.
No, that's what.
Let's
That's
just check
what.
Google Earth, hang on.
No, you're right. Have we got any of your off-cut ply here? Do you know?
What's that for, Pete? Is that for the...
We watch.
I'm watching.
Watch. This is what you call detailing. Just not quite strong enough, so we'll just dig it deeper. Ooh. Has it all become clear yet?
I think so. So it is because the signal box is obviously out of commission?
It's boarded up.
Boarded up. There we go.
So we're putting plywood sheeting in the windows. And the great thing is with this, Voila, boarded up signal box.
Look at that, fantastic.
And the only thing I need to do is just take a bit of the freshness of that. And I've got just the stuff to do that with. And I've just want it to look worn. I don't want it to look so shiny. So some white spirit, which will soak into the ply nicely, and a bit of black concentrate. And the thinner it goes, look, the less new it looks.
Yeah. Look at that.
The grain's picking it up. So you see how it go like that, look?
Yeah. Crikey, look at that.
And then you get your patterns. And that's because obviously the concentrate is thicker than normal paint, and because you've put white spirit on, it's picked up the grain. And then when you put that in there, you put that in there. Looks like old wood. So you just got to make sure the whole of the box, by the way, always put your concentrate out of the way. Because if you knock it over, it's a pig to remove. Show you what we do in a minute. Where do we do that? Right. It is a shame to take one of Phil's kits and make it look abandoned, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely. Now Phil's kits are something else.
Reflectors on. Yeah. Loft insulation.
Hey?
Loft insulation.
So,
When I moved into my house, I found a banjo in the loft.
Can you play that?
No, I took it to that bloke in Frodsham that is a banjo specialist. And he looked down the neck and he said, "This is unplayable." And I said, because it was curved, the strings were miles away from it. He said it was about 100 years old, it was.
Yeah.
So I gave it to Matt. And I thought he'd cherish it, but he flogged it on his own.
again, the white spirit. Concentrate.
Right, these are the ones that I found.
Don't use a lot. You can see I just dip it in there and that's it. Oof. That's all you want. Just a smidgen. Just to pick up the grain. Just to make it a little bit aged. And to be fair, the concentrate does that anyway. That makes it sort of look aged.
Brilliant.
One more to do, or two more to do, actually.
What about the end?
I'll be careful I don't run out of wood because I'm using scraps here. This is where your plan, or my plan, to be precise. Oh, it does work. Oh, Christ, I'm even surprising myself. As you can see, with all these things, they don't take you a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's not a 5-minute job, is it?
No. And that's locked it all in there. Got one more piece to do.
That's the shortest one.
Set square. I do have a scale set square. It's got the GDR, at German Democratic Republic. I'm going to pinch that from God knows.
Just give me the shortest one first.
You got the shortest one.
This one here.
I'll make another one around there. No, it's just there's only three here. Yeah, I think these are the ones that are right.
Voila! Bob's done. There is a real upside to this. You don't have to paint the inside of the box.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't got to put any of the levers in.
There will be an interior kit eventually for it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't need to.
No, but the viewers at home might.
The viewers at home, Mike. Phil will be doing an interior.
Eventually.
Okay, I haven't yet put the door in. Another trick. I'll show you another trick. Let me just go upstairs and get it. Do you know where PVA is?
Oh yeah, it's just here.
The red one. I want.
Yeah.
Here it is. The right way around.
There it is. So our trusted PVA. I always keep 10 to 15 litres of PVA in the workshop. Always. Because it's the answer to everything.
Is that the best to use for modelling?
Everything. PVA you need in your workshop. If you haven't got PVA, you haven't got a workshop. Because it's such a versatile glue and cheap. I mean, this is one of our members works for B&Q, so we get this at staff discount, but Screwfix, it's very cheap. As I say, you know, most models will never run out of the stuff. So we take this, and then we get some toilet paper, and we put the toilet paper on it.
Right, so that one's done.
And we rub the toilet paper onto the roof.
I just need to check. I think we're okay now, but I need to find a bit of plywood to see we've got sockets on for
It's in one of the boxes.
Is it?
Yep.
Is there anything not in a box, please?
Nope.
You know here.
Yeah, until I've tested it. I'm just going to see if I find the box now.
I've got more on it.
That needs taping down once I've pulled it down. We've got enough ends anyway, Peter.
Right.
And now, go over it with PVA. And it's as if you were spreading the actual tar on the roof, the bitumen. Right. You get the air out, and the pattern will come out, and it doesn't matter if the pattern's in, because it's like, I'll show you what I'm about to do. Try and get your tissue to sort of go with your PVA, yeah?
Yep.
So any tissue paper will do. It doesn't matter whether there's a pattern.
Does it help if you're following the grain as well on the wood?
No, it doesn't matter. Because don't forget, this is a felt on your roof. And felt, as you see, it doesn't go on always the way you want it to go on. And it's been on here since 1946, and it's well and truly finished. They've put the they've redone the tarpaulin, the bitumen, in the last 3 years, even to protect it. Though it's out of service, it protects the electronics. Right. We get that. And we get our fine sand. And we sieve it on like that. And then what you have is a felted roof, which you allow to dry, spray black, and you've got a roof. If you want to add a bit of extra sand, this is casting sand, by the way. You can buy it from online. We live by it. I've still got about 30 kilos of the stuff. So, just to show you how this works, although you've got to be careful what it's so wet. That fits on there. I can't see the lugs, but that fits on there. I'll spray that back. Look at that.
That's it.
It's not there. Shut up. Look, you only designed it.
Yeah.
So those of you who just missed that, I didn't get it in time, but Phil was saying it's a bit too close to the track. Stating the obvious. Philip. Always trouble, isn't he, Pete? Philip, always trouble.
Yeah. Always trouble. What you can add if you want your colour now. I don't like to do that. I like this to go off, and then hand painting can be hard work.
Yep.
When you've got a flat area like that, to me, you spray it. And with all the sprays now that you can buy, and there are hundreds of them available, you know, the ones you got on the net are so cheap, they're ridiculous. You wouldn't, you know, we've always got, as you see, our stores is full of Halfords. We've got Halfords. We've got Rust-Oleum. We've got a lot of the Rust-Oleum. The Rust-Oleum stuff is really, really good, and it gives us lots of different options. The one we really like is the Panthers, which is Rust-Oleum. It's their espresso. Their espresso colour is superb for to start the ground.
Yep.
We've also started using acrylics paints, but in tube form, like oils. We've got a big set of oils paints and a big set of watercolour paints that we use, obviously with water mix and with white spirit. But the other thing that we use, which I love, it's you know, it takes you a little while to get used to. Rust-Oleum do a concrete textured spray.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It really is the right colour. You can dirty it down nice, but it gives you, as opposed to a flat texture, it gives you a concretey texture. It's good. It's for flower arrangers. It's really, really, really good, and it's cheap.
I suppose if you were to paint it now while it's still drying, you'd lose what you.
Well, I wouldn't, because I'm not going to do that, because you see you've got slight ripples in it. See that?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what you want. You want that. It will dry out slightly, but you want that effect, because, as you can see on all these roofs, there is an effect on them. I can take that out if I want to, if it's too much. Once it's dried, I can just add another coat of PVA and then just some more sand on top, and actually lose whatever I want to lose, if you want to lose it. But sometimes, you know, you want to over exaggerate things slightly.
Yep, I get you. Yeah, I suppose like if you did it too early, you'd lose what you actually setting out to do, wouldn't you? You'd actually ruin it, and then you'd have to start.
Oh, this will need 24 hours to dry. I mean, this won't be ready today at all. I mean, you know, yesterday I did this piece of ballast in here, and you know, that's taken, just gone off, and it's been, you know, that's been PVA for two days. You can see I'm just removing the excess ballast there. It's coming off the sleepers, but I did that 2 days ago. I'm working on this piece at the moment. I've run out of material at the minute, and I'm waiting. Phil will be cutting the girders for me, and then this is going to be a very different section for us. And again, it's just trying to make
Be nice when it's done.
Well, it's just trying to do
Something
something
isn't it?
different
Yeah.
that's not been modelled 1,000 times.
Yep.
You know, that's what we've tried to do all the way through the series of the 5 layouts. Is just keep pushing back the architecture so that we're doing stuff that other people can look at and say, "Oh, I didn't know that that was there. I like that idea," and can copy it.
Yeah. So for those of you at home, so this section here is going to be a cutting.
Well, no, this
Is
is road cutting.
Yeah.
That's not kid what this is. I've always wanted to model road cutting in Northamptonshire, which is 2 tracks and 2 tracks up here, because this is effectively would be the Northampton diversion. This would be the west coast. So it comes round, and at road it divides like that. This is in a very, very steep cutting. Because this is in a steep cutting, and because road is notorious for the movement of the ground, the walls are very sharp, and this piece is all caged to keep the walls in so the ground doesn't move.
I get you.
But to model it in scale, you would need about 35 feet.
Wow.
But I've always wanted to model it because ever since I was a kid, you know, in the very early 50s, it's the one thing I remember from the first time of my train journey was seeing this amazing structure of all these girders. Obviously now they've got wires on them, they didn't then. But every time I've been in the last, you know, I started commuting in '68, I've never gone past road without looking at that structure and thinking what an amazing model this would make. Has been modelled in N gauge, but I've never had an excuse to use it, and I thought this, because this is really completely fictitious, this bit, we just use it as a feature, just a feature from what there is on the west coast, and just put it here because it's just the end of the layout. You know, normally we put this would be a tunnel.
Yep.
That's what we've done for the last 4 layouts, is finish with the tunnel. So I just thought this time, because you know, for the NEC we used the viaduct, I thought and it went down a storm. Let's do a cutting, but with the shoring up. One of the things that we've learnt, I've learnt, is be careful with the colour black. Be very careful with it. The only way to describe it is it's almost like a hard colour. That it's you know, it's there. So what I do is I use a black and then overspray it from a distance with a grey.
Okay.
To lighten the effect, to take away the blackness of the black. I know that sounds crazy, but if you look at this rock face, this is actually, you know, modelled on a rock at the end of my lane. It's actually modelled. That was painted black, but it doesn't look black. Where yet I haven't quite finished this piece yet, which is too black. That's black, but it's not black. That's grey.
Yep.
That was done with a black concentrate, then from a distance sprayed over a grey, so it takes on a grey hue, which you can see. It takes the startness off the black, and then there's obviously lots of weathering on it.
Yeah, I can see there's like green and...
Yeah, lots of greens, lots of browns. And I haven't yet finished this one, because you can see I haven't yet tied them in, because I'm some stuff short. But it's a warning to all modelers, just be careful with blacks. They're very stark. That's for younger modellers, by the way. I'm sure older modellers know all about the danger of black.
There's quite a lot. I think since we've all, you know, the videos have been like Dave's been doing the videos, and myself, there's quite a few actually youngsters actually that follow us, and I get lots of comments in my
yeah, it's you know, it's
people, a lot of
something I learned as a record producer. It's you've got to be careful how much colour you put on something.
Yep.
Because otherwise you end up with just a black canvas. So you've got to sort of keep looking at what you're doing and judge how dark things actually are. They're not usually as dark as you think they are. So it's easier to put on than to take off. That's the old adage, you know. It's like I watch people weather, and they do something, of course, that the weathering really doesn't do. Nothing gets weathered in 5 minutes. Things take 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
And that rock face there, which is at the bottom of my lane, has probably been like that for over 100 years.
Wow.
So the last 100 years, I doubt whether it's changed much from the first 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, if you try and do that quickly, it doesn't work because you're concentrating too much on what you're doing. You're not allowing your time to stand back and look at it and go, that needs a little shade there, light shade there, light and dark shade there.
Yeah.
So it's all about weathering is building it up slowly and lightly.
Yeah.
Don't try and make it dirty too quick. In fact, weathering is all about making it dirty subtly, and to do that it takes some time. It really does, and it takes different medias. You know, I use oils. Can't use water paints because the material we use to make locos is plastic and it doesn't work. Oil paints, powders, you know, humbrals, all the colours that you get in the you know, the diorama ranges. Powders mixed. Use what makes it, you know.
Yeah.
Use what you can.
So are you better off doing a bit and then say come back in a couple of days' time and do another bit and just so it builds it up?
The truth is that, you know, if you want to do it properly, it could take you up to a month.
Yeah.
I really do mean, you know, it's like put it a bit on and live with it for a couple of days. Certainly with my O gauge stuff, that the wagons that we used to do in batches of 60.
Okay.
We would do one stage, which was literally just cover all the wagons in a very watery black, and then wait for it to dry, then rub it off,
Yeah.
and then live with that for, I don't know, a good week. Then add a second colour. So and we do it in a batch of 60, so that 60 would take you 2 or 3 hours to do.
Yeah.
So you and by the time you were fed up anyway. So, but when you built it up, over say a month or 3 weeks, it's great because they're all different. Because you get bored.
Yeah.
So you do, and we use a lot of fibre pencils to pick out the highlights.
Brilliant.
Different colours. As your brush gets dirty, it changes the colour, so you're not using the same colour all the time. And then you get into that replacing a couple of planks that got broken, and suddenly you realise a month has gone by and you've still got a relatively clean wagon.
Right.
So, you know.
No, it's good to know that stuff because when I start doing my my layout's in the process of planning still, but I've got some track down. But it's good to learn all this stuff.
No, but
as well.
as I say, weathering is an art form. It really is. That's why the best weatherers are really good artists, like Roger, Dodgy. He's fantastic, but he's a fantastic artist.
Yeah.
Same as Martin Walsh. I mean, these guys are painters, really, and what they're doing is they're painting in 3D. And I've seen some of the stuff that some of the really, really fantastic guys do, and it's way beyond me. I couldn't do it. I mean, they're art, as I say, they're trained artists.
Yeah.
And so they're just looking at this, seeing a picture of what we're trying to create, and they can do it perfectly because they know how to mix the colours. I mean, you see a good painter mixing oil paints, and he's way beyond what I can do. You know, they put purples in things that I'd never put purple in. You know, it's just that's because they're trained artists.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah.
We can't all do that, but that doesn't mean to say we can't try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. Brilliant.
How's this go on? How's this go on?
Is that the roof?
Yeah.
Make sure you paint the underside.
Well, you can't see it.
Doesn't matter, it'll stop it shrinking.
Will it shrink? Really?
When you paint dries, it'll shrink. And glue. PVA will
Ah.
shrink massively and it'll peel the corners off.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Right. I see what you mean, Philip. I see what you mean. It's black, but it isn't black.
Yeah.
Because if it was black, it's just... But that is black. That's anthracite, which is coal.
Right. Look at that.
But it hasn't got the depth of the blackness of... Say that, look.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the difference.
Yeah. Just subtle, but makes a difference.